Here is Davis, and the kick out wide, looking for Somertabur, another tester. Somertabur contested it, the bounce is awkward. Stanley Jean got to it and flicked it dead.
They were all at sea there.
Langley was under enormous pressure, aren't you? I don't know whether Somertabur thought his head was the ball, but Stanley Jean to the rescue.
Just got there in the nick of time.
Right, Ben. Let's go.
Ever wondered why you have never become a coach when you look at those two faces?
Well, I know it may come as a surprise to you and maybe quite a few of the viewers, but I do have a few brain cells left.
So the drop out underneath the sticks. And O'Neill Law just made a flick at that and missed it, so it's all on. But Law makes good progress before he's clattered by Costin. And here is Westwood for Wakefield. Malloy in there quickly.
You just get the feeling that it's going to be a horrible mistake that will just turn this game.
Hudson, that's a good ball. Field. Jean missed him. David March inside to Brad Davis. Here's Martin Pearson. And the runner now poaching. Davis takes the return, changes the direction of the attack, runs flat, spins the ball then to Brooker. They've got a man on the overlap. They won't need him. Brooker is in. Justin Brooker draws applause from his coach, John Harbin. A vital try and some big hits in defence against Salford here last month. The former Bradford ball, Justin Brooker. Could be a crucial try.
Well, the Giants held off and they paid a costly price. See how they hesitate. Poaching back on the inside, and then Brad Davis just mesmerised them. And threw the ball out wide. Oh, there was no one at home. Steve McNamara had left a huge gap. And this is the man poaching that kept it alive. But look how Davis had all the room in the world to move. When he flipped it away, McNamara was in no man's land, and Brooker goes in. It's tense.
Justin Brooker. Bradford Bulls last year. Different kettle of fish for him this year. A relegation dogfight, but this kick from Pearson to square the match. It'll be 12-all if this sails over. Big kick. Big kick for Pearson. Big kick for Wakefield. No problem. 12 apiece. First blood, second half to the Wakefield Wildcats. Now, can they kick on?
There you see McNamara, and once Davis offloaded the football, Brooker said, that's a nice little gap. Nothing that Chris Thorman could do about that. He was coming on the angle, and as Eddie has just mentioned, that is a vital four-pointer.
Davis is underneath the kick-off. Here comes Jamie Field. Good chase from the kick-off, though, by Huddersfield. And it's all square, and of course this would be enough to keep Wakefield up and send Huddersfield down. A draw is no good to Huddersfield, but it's manna from heaven for the Wildcats. And here's Frank Watini.
Now then, will they go early and kick? Nope.
Poaching. The catalyst for this Wakefield side.
Such a talented player. Ability to turn in the tackle and then offload as he did there, but he was well wrapped up was Julian O'Neill.
Ryan Hudson. Ryan Hudson, great support. David March called to the ground by Troy Stone. Last tackle.
This should be a high one. No, it's a grubber.
He's dabbed it towards the in-goal area, and it's going to be far too deep. Well, Davis produced the opening for Brooker to score the try, and the noise level rises here at Bellevue. The Wakefield fans think there's something on, and why shouldn't they?
Well, I've said it before this season that quite a few teams use that ploy, deliberately kick the ball dead in goal, so they can get that one line of defence sorted out, and it certainly could be effective for the Wildcats. As Eddie has mentioned, they only need to draw today.
Troy Stone big man, he's away. But he tried to get the ball away, and it's a knock-on.
Just couldn't control it. He's had a big game as well as a big fella. Roy Stone just had the arm dragged away.
Well, if Huddersfield do manage to win here, it would be their 5th victory of the season, and that with the draw against London in June would represent their best effort since getting back into the top flight in 1997. And you have to say, on a personal view, this is that if Huddersfield do finish bottom of the pile for a 4th year in a row, well, they have had their chance, haven't they? They've had a long time to try and establish themselves as a force in Super League.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with problems for Ben Custo. He's got a real big problem. He's down in back play.
Costin with an important tackle.
Giants are down to only 12.
And he's trying to make his way back to the defensive line, but he's out on the wing. And they've gone for the drop goal here with Martin Pearson.
He's got it.
He's missed it. The crowd behind there
On the 20, missed.
started to celebrate, and it looked like he'd got it.
Must have gone close. Oh! He can't believe it, Martin Pearson.
Did that shave the upright? I think it might have just got a clip.
Ready, Paul?
Oh,
Off we go.
nearly took the paint off.
Right, tackle one.
Here's Troy Stone. He'll be relieved because it was his handling error that gave the possession to Wakefield. And Wakefield have upped the gear here in the second half. It's a scramble, isn't it? It's an arm wrestle. It's a tense night. It's nervous. Penalty. Julian O'Neill all over the top of Steve Malloy. Such a change for Julian O'Neill, of course, formerly with St Helens, a major close season signing, and he won 2 grand finals and a Challenge Cup with the Saints. What a turnaround in fortunes for him.
Well, I said a mistake, the error perhaps could just change the complexion of this game. And
34-8, the Broncos have got that 1-1, 10 minutes into the second half. So they'll finish 6th now.
Interesting to see how this transpires. They've got the football. That's great defence from the Wildcats.
And very alert there from Ben Westwood as well. Here comes O'Neill again.
But the Giants losing possession early in the tackle count. Can't afford to do that. Got to get through your sets of 6.
Davis just had a look to see where he was then on the field. Thought about a 40-20, I think.
Yeah, Marty.
But the defence closed in. Hudson. Martin Moana finishing him off. Oh, big hit. McNamara.
Ding-dong bell, they're going out there.
Nice chip from Davis. He's got the legs on Malloy. Bounced perfectly for him. Good tackle, though, by Thorman. And it's a turnover. It was Heffin O'Hare, my apologies.
Well, the full-back came to the rescue there. Second time that Davis has opted for the little chip over the top, and he had to make a decision, did O'Hare. Go for the football or just hang back, and he hung back, made sure that when Davis got it, he executed the tackle to perfection. It had to be.
Here's Martin Moana, and this is a blow for Wakefield, but he's hobbling back into the defensive line, got clattered there, chasing his own kick. This is Costin. Heffin O'Hare was looking for the short pass that never came. Stanley Jeans in at dummy half. And Stanley will drive it forward.
I was just about to say, are they going to go for the 1 point? They're a bit way out.
It's with Custo. No, he's going to hoist the midfield bomb. An invitation for a run. Well claimed that was by Neil Law under huge pressure from Gleeson, who was airborne as well, but he contested for the ball. He didn't tackle the man.
That's right, he took it well, though. He put him under a lot of pressure, the fullback Neil Law, and he's come up positive throughout.
3, we're on the line, we're on the line. Hold solid. Marcus.
Well, it's a night where the blood pressure, you had a meter on the coaches and on the supporters. It would go through the roof.
Just playing one-out football from either side, and it is to be expected.
Well, nothing fancy. You've already mentioned it might take a horrible mistake from someone.
That'll pop up nicely, but how good is the chase? Well, there's 4 surrounding.
Well, they got there eventually. Oh, Brooker!
That'll be a knock-on.
Brooker's knocked it on.
Sadly. It will not be a try.
He's going to go to the video referee, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but it's not a try, I can assure you. It is definitely knocked down.
Come here, just see whether that was a knock-on, did it hit his shoulder or his chest or what?
But why on earth?
Oh, no.
No, I think he's got an arm through it. Why on earth the way opted to offload here? I think that Brooker has got the hand to it. There's only one reason why it went forward. And it comes off Brooker's right arm. This will be a scrum down.
I'm with you. Why did Heffin O'Hare do this?
Well, I bet Tony Smith gets the message out and saying, excuse me, Mr. O'Hare, I'd rather you not do that again.
Go and scrum, fellas.
It'll be a scrum. No try.
And you're right, the Wakefield celebrations cut short. John Harbin, well, he surely can't argue with that one. But I think
in these situations, Eddie, you argue about everything.
That's true.
Let's stay in the back, fellas. Ryan, keep your head in. Stay inside, Brad.
Yeah, I do remember when we were here against Hull, I think John Harbin said afterwards, if they won the toss, Wakefield, they'd go to the screen.
Yeah, through all the tribulations that we've got to endure here, he still has got a wonderful sense of humour, hasn't he, John Harbin?
Well, he was a guest on our programme earlier in the year. That looked a bit high on Costin from Pearson, but he just gets on and plays the ball. He was a guest on Rugby League World earlier in the year when he was named Coach of the Month, and they still talk about him in the game. He was a refreshing change to hear him, I'll tell you.
Marcus Square!
I hope you're not saying that the other coaches aren't refreshing.
Not at all, but he was just different.
All onside.
Oh, that's a beautiful kick.
Savatabua.
Oh, you take the gamble.
Dear me. Neil Law will say thanks a lot, Wash Haley.
Well, that red thing that pumps the blood around would have been just about coming up through his throat by then when he offloaded. Over the board. Look at this. Oh. Oh, that could be the last gasp, perhaps. The fact that had gone the other way. Whoa, big hit. Poaching got the shoulder in.
Heffin O'Hare felt that, played the ball. And all Wakefield have got to do is hang on to the draw, and they're home. There's no problems for them. It's Huddersfield who've got to win this. Stanley Jean is a match winner and has been for them in the past. Good tackle low by Frank Bottini. Rowley to Custo. Here is Troy Stone. And Troy Stone gets it wide to Moana. There's a little gap here for Langley, but he cut in field instead of going down the line.
Well, surely they've got to make their way towards the post. They've got to be looking for the one-pointer.
Custo. Oh, what a lovely dart and dummy. Nobody there.
Oh, where was the support?
Poaching gave him the call, I'm sure.
Beautiful run there from Custo. Just couldn't get nearer to the line. Good work from the hooker, David March. It had to be as well.
Oh, so close.
There's a Wakefield player down. They're going down like 9 pins at the moment.
It's Neil Law who's struggling. There's an attempted 40-20 from Brad Davis. Langley will let that go, and he does. Well, you're right, he's trying to kick them to death, is Davis. You've tipped it at half-time.
Hang on, hold.
And it'll be going through the Wakefield players' minds that they're safe if it stays this way. No doubt Tony Smith will be getting the message out and saying, we've got to get up there yet again. We've got to try the 1 point.
Heffin O'Hare is away. Support is there, but again they've given it away. They've given the ball away twice in the last 2 attacks.
Well, why on earth are they trying to force this ball when safety first, get right down the field of play? They've got players out there, I'm sure, that can go for the the one-pointer, Rowley.
There's your man of the match numbers: 09009 10 10 13 across the Irish Sea, 15 50 92 35 56. Vote now, and if you agree with Steve-O and Phil's choice, you're off to the grand final. Here is Julian O'Neill.
Well,
I'm sure,
the Wildcats will go for it.
Here they are with Hudson, and he's clipped it this time. It gives Wakefield a 1-point lead. Emotionless Tony Smith.
But he knows that they've gifted them this opportunity. They made inroads into the Wildcats' half, and then they threw the ball away.
What a time to come up with your first drop goal of your career. 13-12.
Well, he likes the old TV, doesn't he? Ryan Hudson. He was the man that scored 2 tries, won the man of the match. And as you say, a vital one-pointer.
And Wakefield in front for the first time.
Now the 1 point is no good for the Giants.
No.
They've got to play the power play. Oh, they've come on the knock-on. Oh, dear me.
Jamie Field, the culprit, former Huddersfield player.
Lack of concentration there. Field just had a little bit of a glimpse. John Harbin. Ecstasy a few seconds before. Look at the tension. The body language just says it all.
Get up, fellas. Stop coming, have a breather.
Oh, dear me, you could see there Tony Smith, the coach. If you brought him a brand new suit, you'd just fall off him. You'd need 3 pairs of braces to keep his pants up.
McNamara's gone off. You mean he's losing weight by the second, do you? Here is Thorman.
Well, his body's just slumped, isn't it? To get away with it, you'd have to walk around with a coat hanger still in it.
Heffin O'Hare.
2!
They've got to go for broke of the Giants. Now then, what can Brandon Costin and his partner Ben Custo come up with here? Looks like Custo's going to get the first receiver.
There it is, Custo, and here is Costin. And there is Troy Stone. And Troy Stone just couldn't get away from the despairing tackle that was from Brad Davis.
Wait.
They're inching closer, though. It's now with Custo, and it's long into the arms of Thorman. And Thorman back on the inside. Gleeson, Heffin O'Hare! Heffin O'Hare! He's over the line! He's got the ball down!
O'Hare scored!
Gets the try! The Welsh international, he's missed the last 12. Blood all over the shirt. His 3rd try of Super League. And he's thrown the Huddersfield Giants the biggest lifeline of his career.
Well, they were left with no option but to keep this ball alive. The tension on the fans is evident. They know, only for a few seconds, they thought that they were saved, the Wildcats. Now the pressure has turned again. It was good work back on the inside from Chris Thorman, and then the fullback chimed in. 3 tried to stop him, but Heffin O'Hare has put them in front yet again.
Change of kicker, Brandon Costin. He's kicked it, you know. It's a 5-point lead, 18-13.
Well, I said they had to go for broke, and they certainly did that. It was wonderful work from Chris Thorman, brought it back on the inside. And the centre provided the pass for the full-back. And look at the joy etched on his face.
22 years of age, a Welsh international, Heffin O'Hare. And just what the doctor ordered for the Huddersfield Giants. Now then, it's Wakefield's turn to come from behind, and the supporters of the Wakefield Wildcats will be saying, we can't go through all this again in a week's time. But they might have to. Troy Stone.
Well, you can tell that the words got out from Tony Smith. Remember, it was O'Hare, the fullback, that offloaded right in near to his own try line. It was brought back. The try was disallowed. Booker did get the knock on, but it's got to be safety first now, surely, by the Giants. But will they hang on, or will they press forward?
Thorman with a kick.
Okay, play on.
And Neil Law will have to run this back. Now then, the Giants will look for a mistake. Gleeson with the first hit and the first impact.
Hold, fellas, hold.
You know, the defence from both sides, it's been so rough and tough. It does make you wonder that why they are down there in the basement department.
Frank Martin.
3, and again, fellas, no penalty.
Of course, 1 point no good to Wakefield now. Davis has gone for another 40-20. Langley had funneled his way back. He will collect. And back come the Giants again.
That's good thinking as well, because Langley realising that they've got to start going, but oh, very close.
No, the touch was absolutely on the spot then. Nearly Langley was wrestled into touch. Here's Stanley Jean, away from Pearson, can't get away from poaching.
But I'm just saying, Eddie, that O'Hare and the two wingers, they're dropping back early. They realise that the Wildcats have got the advantage of this wind, and they also have a good kicking in Brad Davis. They've got to be extra cautious.
Stanley Jean, real pocket battleship.
Runs like that really do lift you. Certainly will help.
Wide it goes to Thorman, further wide again. And that was a very important tackle from Ellis on Gleeson. Here is Custo. A little dab over the top this time. He was taken out, he was!
Just a little shoulder charge there from...
Oh, and argument, and another 10 metres, it's kickable.
Shoulder.
Good thinking there from Custo, but you can see there that Frank Watine definitely took a step to his left. Watch it, bang.
Well, there can be no doubts about that.
No doubt, but I said the lack of discipline, it has proved very costly indeed. It's no good claiming to anybody who's willing to listen, because even John Harbin, the coach, realises that that was a little bit of dumb football at a time when they needed something. I think they are beginning to realise, the Wakefield fans, that they are not out of danger yet.
Important kick for Costin. 2 points for Huddersfield. 13-20. The Wildcats have to score twice. Tony Smith. Well, the lifeboat is about to be launched. And it's all hands on deck now for the Giants.
Well, he'll breathe a little bit easier. He knows now that they've got to really push it. Will they go for the short one? No, they've gone for a deep one. Well, that surprised me. That really has surprised me. I would have been looking for the short kick-off to try to get possession. Time is against them now.
And here comes Custo.
And 2. Come on, fellas.
He's had a fine match as a little halfback. It's been a good battle between Custo and Davis.
It's been a good battle between these two sides, to be fair. There is so much at stake, and, well, what have we got left? Around about 11.5 minutes. Let's get down to Phil Clark and get his impressions.
Well, I feel like everyone here is stuck in an emotional washing machine with a cycle split on fast spin. Nobody knows when it's going to quite end, but for the first 20 minutes, Wakefield were in complete control and played the game exclusively down, didn't they, in the Huddersfield line? They've just given Huddersfield a sniff of opportunity. And when that drop goal went over and they went 1 point behind, I just looked at the body language of one player in particular, Troy Stone. He raced up to the halfway line. He was so determined to get the game restarted and get his team back in with it. Maybe that character will carry them home.
Well, we'll see, but this is Sovatabua now for Wakefield. They must be almost out on their feet. It has been a huge effort from both these sides tonight. An emotional roller coaster. And if it stays like this, they're going to have to go through it again next weekend. And by the way, both the matches... Oh, the ball has come free. No, it hasn't. It went backwards, so play on. I'll make the point that those matches involving Wakefield and Huddersfield next Sunday, they will both kick off at 3 o'clock. Wakefield at Salford, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Huddersfield at home to London, both with 3 o'clock kickoffs next Sunday. It mightn't be needed. It mightn't be needed. This is March. Pearson just clattered to the floor.
Absolutely wonderful rugby league football there. That's got to be a penalty. He's allowed the advantage. It's on the last.
It's Davis who will hoist the kick out wide. And again, the winger, Langley, had funneled back, and back they come. The Giants coming back, but only as far as O'Neill. He stopped him temporarily.
Well, was there obstruction there by Stanley Jean? Brooker couldn't get to it. It looked like Stanley Jean deliberately blocked the path. Not seen or not accepted by the official Stuart Cummings.
3, Jules, stand out.
The plot deepens, by the way, looking ahead to next weekend. Maybe we're being a little bit preemptive here, but if it stays like this, if Huddersfield hang on, Salford have lost 8 of the last 9 in Super League, and guess who they last beat? They last beat Wakefield. I don't think we can stand it, Steve-o. Thank goodness we're going to be at Bradford and Leeds on the Saturday.
Do you know, you should have been a coal carrier. You should have sold coal, because you are throwing everything I know on top of a raging fire. He's desperate for the fire brigade.
He's desperate for the final siren.
To be fair,
blow for Martin Pearson. He's limping off for Wakefield. Here's Stanley Jean. Can Huddersfield wrap this up?
Well, they've just got to keep their composure, just head towards the sticks, one out, keep all the possession. If you're going to go for the one-pointer or maybe just a little grubber kick into the in-goal area, this is where you've got to start playing smart football.
Mick Slicker this is.
Hammer that nail into the coffin.
Rowley flicks it to Troy Stone.
4, make the line.
And Router came on there for an important tackle. This is Martin Moana now. He's dragged Brandon Costin into it.
Surely they're going to go for one. Custo wants it.
And Custo gets it. The gap is 8 points. Tony Smith, John Harbin, the two coaches are going through the full gamut of emotions, and so are these fans.
Well, he'll be happy with that, Tony Smith, the Giants coach, because it's just what the doctor ordered. That is smart football. He knows it too. And I think he knows that he's going to get away with it. And it all goes down to the wire on the final week.
Oh!
Or does it? Hero to villain.
Custo. He's made a total mess of the kickoff.
Well, you often call it porridge. You might be eating that in the morning.
Let's go, make sure you stay in, John.
Well, a drop goal a minute ago, now a mistake, and it's hey lads, hey in defence for the Giants.
He's had a marvellous game, though, hasn't he? He's controlled things, especially in the second half.
Neil Law is trying to get away from Thorman, but can't. Moana there as well. O'Neill gets the ball away to Ellis. Moana with the tackle. Pressure is building on this Huddersfield line. They do have the luxury of an 8-point lead. O'Neill to his feet, halfway through this set of 6. It goes wide to Davis.
Oh, he did well to take that.
Billy Poaching did.
Did he ever?
Custo was all over him. And here they go again. Force back.
Knock on, back to 6.
Back to 6. Oh, dearie me.
Dearly me.
It was Andrew Frew, I think, who made the knock-on. And this is Poaching. That's the first. Long ball. David March. Still.
No support there. He couldn't offload. Fine effort from the hooker.
Davis. Oh.
That'll be the knock-on.
Brooker's over. The knock-on is given.
They just cannot believe it.
Here we go. Scrum.
Oh, that was...
It was Ryan Hudson of all people.
It was a hard pass, and it was a high pass from Davis.
And it looked a touch forward anyway.
Yeah, it hit the shoulder of Hudson.
Let's go, trainers off.
Well, when Hudson put them in the lead with that drop goal, with about 15 minutes to go, it looked as though the fairy tale was going to be complete for the Wildcats. Oh!
Jean over the top to Gleeson. Calm down, Steve-o. Now I know why you weren't a coach. There's 46-8 for the Broncos, 5 to go. I bet that it's not as tense there as it is here.
I would have gone grey.
2! Here we are.
The only man with a grey head.
Careful!
Here's Custo.
At least it's smart.
Oh,
that's got to be a penalty.
Keith Mason, that's dangerous.
Okay, hey.
That has got to be a penalty. They
Okay, both of you,
lifted him
please.
up.
Both of you,
Did he
please.
put the hand inside?
Who's done that? Both of you, Captain.
O'Neill and Mason together.
It's going on report, this.
Captain.
I think it's O'Neill that puts the hand in, is it?
No.
No, Mason's
Mason
got the
does the
hand in.
lift.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Well, fortunately, Cousteau is up.
Who's skipping now?
Oh.
Are you skipper?
Well, the frustration coming from the two forwards. This will have to go on report.
He's been upended.
Tense times for John Harbin.
Right. Now listen, we're talking about this now, Willie. All right? That's gone up. It's a dangerous tackle. Tackle's going on report. Okay?
Looks like both O'Neill and Mason were called, but that's because the referee probably didn't have a clear view, as you have at home, that it was Keith Mason who did the lifting. So a penalty anyway, and it just
Time on.
takes a few more seconds off that clock.
Well, again, smart football is the order of the day. They've got to make sure that they keep hold of this ball.
Wait for his foot now, wait for his
Just
foot.
wind down the
Wait
time.
for his foot.
Well, we knew it was going to be tense, and that's play on. Good work from March. One-on-one.
Slicker was the man who lost it.
Right, tackle one.
Wonderful work there from Davy March. He's had a great second half also.
Penalty.
Hey, legs out, Ben.
Lack of
Come on,
concentration.
don't start
Well, the
There you
hero, Cousteau, came up with a knock-on. Now he's given away the penalty. Davies wants to get on with it.
Come on, clear that area. Don't go down that road. That's right.
4 minutes to go, and 8 points the gap. A try now, and well, we will be in for a treat
Jay,
for the
back
last
to me,
few
mate.
minutes.
Okay.
The anxiety out there on the field and on the terraces, you can smell it. It's a good drive in.
I know you're pretty good in that department, Eddie, with the nose, but that really is messy.
There's a little bit of a swing then by Troy Stone.
Well, March wanted to get on with it.
Now he can.
And that's not from the same position. They've sneaked about 5 meters forward of Wakefield.
Brooker is there, but he is wrestled to the ground. Rota to Davis, to O'Neill.
They're not done, the Wildcats, I can assure you.
Julian O'Neill.
Two, stand away, Troy.
Will
Troy,
March
get
go
out.
from his own?
He's going to have a bash. He's over. March is over for Wakefield. It's not over yet, boys. This will be a quick conversion.
He's had a wonderful second half. Worked overtime in the defensive department in the first 40. But his run from dummy half has given them a glimmer of hope. Never say die attitude here at Wakefield. We know from experience they do not throw in the towel.
Graham Law is going to take a very important conversion. Oh, he's just scraped it inside the posts.
Now watch for the walk from the Giants.
21-19, 2 points in it.
Well, they're walking back like Diddy men, never mind Giants, but good work from the hooker. They've got the opportunity, and it's slow, small steps from the Giants.
Hang on, Ben. Get over the track, mate.
But one Giant, 2 points from Wakefield.
The referee has stopped the clock.
He has given them a glimmer of hope.
Well, there is
Wait.
1 minute 48 seconds remaining.
Right, no penalties, fellas.
And it's a deep kick-off, as you would expect. Oh, dear, Graham, Neil Law.
Right, tackle one, get out, get out!
Well, I don't know how the coaches are standing this. We're nearly passing out. And Huddersfield now will tackle for all they're worth. Can you imagine if a penalty is given on halfway? Here's Solotabua.
They're shilling with a great opportunity. They've got to keep it alive. They've got to gamble. Twist and turn, supporting for their life. The Giants are tackling for their life.
Davis gives it some air, and it goes wide. Good ball. Law, who is halted. No penalties, surely there could have been one there. It's the last tackle. Davis, he'll hoist the kick again. Looking for Brooker out here. Flicked on, Savitabua's after it.
Stanley Jean has saved the day. That's a high shot from Brooker, but Stanley Jean won't mind. And I think John Harbin knows it's all over.
It's a penalty to the Giants.
Well, the build-up to that, Eddie mentioned the fact that they could have been penalised, the Giants. Obviously, Wakefield would have gone for the equaliser, and that 1 point, the draw, would have been sufficient. Controversy in the vital last 2 minutes. Up the jumper time for the Giants. He's lost
the ball.
Surely went back, Malloy says. But he's lost it in the tackle.
There's the siren. It doesn't matter. It's all over, and it goes to the final weekend. John Harbin cannot believe it. Tony Smith has won the match for the Giants. 21 points to 19. The agony or the ecstasy goes on. Heflin O'Hare's try and a couple of goals from Brandon Costin. Wakefield and their supporters still coming to terms with this, but the Giants, they're still alive, and John Harbin has not moved from the sideline. He is trying to compose his thoughts, but it goes down to the last weekend. Bill Arthur is with a very relieved Tony Smith.
Tony, how are the nerves?
Stood up okay. In the end, you know, it was a hard-fought game by two desperate teams. So, yeah, it was great for the fans as well, I thought.
And you're still alive, just.
Yeah, we've got some hope left. We've got a big game next week against London at home, but yeah, we're giving ourselves a shot at it at this stage anyway.
London have put 40-odd points on Halifax tonight. It's going to be some game.
Yeah, they've scored some points in the last couple of games then, so we're going to have to turn that around. But yeah, we're happy to do our bit today.
Well, at least you've still got the